You guys asked about Venezuela. As you guys know, Maduro's been indicted by the United States for drug trafficking, narco-terrorism, all this crap. So, U.S. sending warships to Venezuela to combat drug cartels.
There's a ceasefire proposal put forward by...
Bro, what the hell is this nigga doing there? Bruh.
both Qatar and Egypt. Hamas accepted it on Monday. Israel has yet to officially weigh in. I'm wondering if the U.S. was at all involved in it, if it's supportive of it, and whether or not the president believes Israel should accept it.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Hamas accepted this proposal after the President of the United States posted a very strong statement about this conflict on Truth Social yesterday. I would refer you back to that statement. As for this proposal that Hamas has now accepted, the United States continues to discuss it, and I'll let the President weigh in on it definitively. You're welcome. Sure.
Can you describe the President's perspective on taking a stake in Intel in exchange for federal grants? And is this are we expecting to see the White House make similar arrangements with other semiconductor companies and manufacturing companies?
Well, the President, he's been very clear about the need to reshore manufacturing that's critical to our national and economic security. That is especially in regards to chips and semiconductors, which is why the President has initiated the Commerce Department to conduct a study on semiconductors, a Section 232 investigation, so we can ultimately implement tariffs. And it's why our export license requirements remain in place as well. As for this 10% government stake deal, the Department of Commerce continues to work on it. I know Secretary Lutnick is working on it and ironing out the details, but the President wants to put America's needs first, both from a national security and economic perspective. And it's a creative idea that has never been done before to ensure that we're both reshoring these critical supply chains while also gaining something of it for the American taxpayer. You're welcome. Emily.
Thanks, Caroline. I wanted to ask about the 3 U.S. warships that are being sent to Venezuela, and there's 4,000 Marines on board. Are you looking at possibility of boots on the ground there?
What I will say with respect to Venezuela, President Trump has been very clear and consistent. He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. In Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country.
All right, Venezuela government mobilized more than 4 million militia troops seemingly in response to your reports of U.S. naval movements in the region. And for those of you that don't know, Venezuela economy is cooked, okay? Lots of fucking inflation. Obviously, we were, we kind of crashed their economy quite a bit as well. Lots of corruption in Venezuela. And it's crazy because, some people like Maduro and then other people hate him, right? And then he had elections like last year, and a lot of people said that they weren't legit.
Imagine 3 massive warships, a stealthy submarine, and a fleet of amphibious ships moving toward the Caribbean waters near Venezuela. Add thousands of highly trained Marines and advanced aircraft.
Yes, Venezuela has quite a bit of oil, chat, for those of you that don't know.
Monitoring the skies and seas. And you have a naval operation that captures attention worldwide. Today, we break down what's happening, why it matters, and the incredible technology behind this U.S. Navy deployment. Tensions in the Caribbean have escalated as the U.S. deploys a significant naval presence near Venezuela. While official statements emphasize operations in international waters,
and Marco Rubio's kind of been on this for a minute too, bro. They want Maduro out of there, and they want to install a puppet government in Venezuela because Venezuela has a lot of oil, a lot of resources. So
the message is clear. The United States is signaling readiness and strategic control. Relations between the two countries have been tense for years, with diplomatic disputes and differing policies contributing to a complex situation. At the forefront are 3 Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers, USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and USS Sampson. These multi-mission ships are equipped with the Aegis combat system, capable of tracking hundreds of targets at once. USS Gravely, a Flight I-A variant, advanced radar, and missile defense. USS Jason Dunham, anti-submarine specialization with stealth features. And the USS Samson, air defense focus, capable of protecting the fleet with long-range interceptors. Each destroyer carries Tomahawk cruise missiles, Standard missiles, Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and advanced artillery, giving them a versatile combat profile. The Los Angeles-class attack submarine adds stealth and underwater intelligence. These submarines can operate undetected, track surface vessels, and provide a covert monitoring capability that complements the surface fleet. New details reveal that the deployment also includes the USS Iwo Jima, USS San Antonio, and USS Fort Lauderdale. The USS Iwo Jima, a Wasp-class amphibious assault ship capable of launching helicopters, tilt-rotor aircraft, and landing craft. It serves as a central hub for marine operations. USS San Antonio and USS Fort Lauderdale, San Antonio-class amphibious transport docks designed to carry troops, vehicles, and landing crafts for rapid deployment. Together, these ships form the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group, which is deploying with the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit. This combination provides a flexible and rapid response capability, allowing the U.S. to project power while supporting amphibious and logistical operations. The fleet's operations are complemented by P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, capable of long-range surveillance, surface and underwater tracking, and real-time
Yeah, and these ships are old too, chat. Like, it's not like they're like brand new. These ships are very fucking old.
intelligence relays. Additional aircraft include rotary wing helicopters and fixed-wing support aircraft operating from the amphibious ships, extending situational awareness across the entire deployment zone. The deployment is described as a routine mission by U.S. officials, yet its scale and composition send a strategic message. Each element has a purpose. Destroyers, multi-threat engagement, fleet defense, missile capability, submarine, covert monitoring and underwater operations, amphibious ships, rapid deployment of marines, vehicles, and aircraft. Aircraft, surveillance, intelligence, and coordination of naval operations. Notably, this deployment is...
And this was a strategic thing too, by the way, guys. The reason why Trump went ahead and named these these drug organizations as like narco-terrorist organizations is because now you can utilize and leverage the power of the intelligence community. You can leverage the power of the military. Anytime you use the T word, you are able to mobilize way more resources to the fight than you would if it was just like a drug case, right? But when you call it narco-terrorism, well, now all of a sudden other avenues are available to you. Like, for example, with Tren de Aragos, they're able to aggressively target them and go after them and deport them and, you know, use a whole slew of different investigative techniques for it. And I told you guys this before. When Trump came in and he labeled Tren de Aragos, whatever the fuck their name is, as a terrorist organization, I told y'all that they were going to go out hard on them because when you're labeled a terrorist organization, it opens up so many more doors for law enforcement for the to utilize military resources, intelligence resources that they otherwise would not be having access to in a normal criminal investigation. So, and just like I expected, they absolutely have been like eradicating them all across the United States, going after them super hard. So, same exact thing with the Venezuelans and Maduro. Label them as narco-terrorists, bam. Now you're able to leverage the power of the U.S. military.
Does not include an aircraft carrier, indicating a focus on flexibility, rapid response, and strategic presence rather than full-scale air operations. Looking ahead, the U.S. Navy has a variety of other vessels that could be deployed if the situation escalates. Aircraft carriers, such as those from the Nimitz or Ford classes, could bring unmatched air power to the region, providing a mobile base for fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and refueling operations. Cruisers, equipped with advanced radar and missile systems, could enhance the fleet's air and missile defense capabilities. Littoral combat ships, designed for shallow water operations, could be used for rapid response missions and coastal monitoring. Finally, additional submarines or amphibious transport docks could further expand underwater intelligence and troop deployment options. The presence of these vessels would significantly increase the U.S. Navy's operational flexibility, signaling a strong capability to respond to a wide range of scenarios while maintaining strategic control in the Caribbean. Arleigh Burke-class destroyers feature an array of weapons, including Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get, I think they're going to absolutely get Maduro in custody at some point during this administration. There's just no way that I don't see that they don't get him. There's no way he'll be able to stay in power because he's very disliked in Venezuela as well. At some point, and they, the fucking price to get him, look at this, guys. Something crazy like 30 million or some shit like that. Let me look here. So, after initially offering a reward of up to 15 million for information leading to the arrest and/or conviction of Maduro in 2020, the Department of State on January 10, 2025 increased the reward offer to 25 million. On August 7th, the department announced the further increase of the reward to 50 million. After the Department of Treasury sanctioned Cartel of Suns as a specially designated global terrorist as of July 25, 2025, as leader of cartel for the Suns, Maduro is the first target in the history of the narcotics reward program with a reward exceeding 25 million. Guys, I don't think Osama even had that high. 50 million? Bro, somebody's going to turn on him, man. Because Osama, 27, bro. So Maduro's officially the most expensive reward. Right? Now, you can make the argument that, 2001, right? When was this? 2011? Inflation and shit. But, bro, still, it ain't no 50 million. 50 million is crazy. There's no way he's going to exist that much longer.
Standard missiles and Harpoon anti-ship missiles. Amphibious ships like the USS San Antonio class are equipped with defensive weapons and can deploy landing crafts, helicopters, and tilt-rotor aircraft. P-8 Poseidons carry sophisticated sensors and radar for maritime surveillance, and the submarine contributes stealth and underwater tracking capabilities. The operation includes over 4,500 Marines, sailors, and aviators, making it one of the most substantial U.S. naval deployments in the Caribbean in recent years. The combination of surface ships, amphibious vessels, submarines, and aircraft allows the U.S. Navy to operate across multiple domains simultaneously. Although the U.S. stresses operations in international waters, the deployment is closely watched in the region. Venezuela has mobilized defensive forces, highlighting the tension and stakes involved. The movement of such a sophisticated fleet demonstrates the U.S. capabilities to maintain maritime stability, monitor critical areas, and respond rapidly to potential crises. This deployment is far more than a routine movement of ships. It is a carefully orchestrated demonstration of naval strength, technological superiority, and rapid response capability. The combination of destroyers, amphibious assault ships, transport docks, a submarine, and maritime patrol aircraft shows how the U.S. Navy can coordinate across sea, air, and undersea domains simultaneously. It highlights not only the ability to defend maritime routes, but also the power to project force anywhere within reach. Naturally, this raises a critical question. Does this movement signal preparations for something larger, perhaps even the possibility of direct action against Venezuela? Officially, U.S. leaders framed the deployment as part of broader regional stability operations, focused on international waters and security missions. However, the sheer scale and composition of the force, complete with thousands of Marines, advanced amphibious ships, and air support, cannot help but suggest capabilities that go far beyond surveillance or deterrence. If Washington truly intended to launch a military intervention, the presence of amphibious ready groups, Marines, and precision-equipped destroyers would form exactly the kind of foundation needed for such an operation. At the same time, the absence of an aircraft carrier points to a more calibrated approach, strong enough to send a message and prepare for contingencies, but not yet at the level of full-scale invasion planning. In the end, whether this is a show of force, a pressure tactic, or a precursor to something bigger remains uncertain. What is undeniable is that these moves place Venezuela and the entire Caribbean firmly under the shadow of American naval power. The world will be watching closely to see whether this deployment stabilizes tension.
All right,